and calls number M329560. And after a indigency hearing, the court will find that Mr. Gonzalez is not indigent. And so Mr. Gonzalez will be ordered to pay the court costs of $407. And so just to repeat the state's offer, the state is offering that you serve 5 days in Jefferson County Jail. You get credit for the 1 day that you have already spent in jail. Your jail time will begin on June 16th at or before 6 p.m. And you'll be required to pay the $407 court costs. Now, do you understand the state's offer and the court's finding? And do you think that is fair and just? And do you accept it? Okay, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. And okay, and so, and also the court is going to find that pursuant to section 709.001, the transportation code is not applicable here because this is the defendant's, this would be his first conviction because it was reduced down, and it's not within a 36-month period of a previous conviction. Okay. So at this time, that's the finding of the court. Mr. Gonzalez, you're going to stand on the X next to the clerk, in front of the clerk, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. And Mr. Rodriguez, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day. Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Faggart.
Hey, good morning. First of all, let me apologize. I had this calendared on the 16th, which was a Friday, and apparently we did get a notice that it was set for today, but it never got put on the calendar. And so, you know, this is on me, Judge. I'm going to respectfully ask that you reset it so we can get this thing done as soon as possible.
Okay, let's get Mr. Ozan? Hold on a minute. He was just here a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Ms. Ozan, would you please come forward? This is cause number M323722, case of style of the state of Texas versus Sherman Ozan III. Mr. Ozan, is that your full name?
Yes.
How are you doing, Mr. Ozan?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Ozan. You're represented in your case by your attorney Mark Faggart, who's appearing via Zoom. Mr. Faggart, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you for asking.
Okay, now the state is represented by Colby Harper, and the representative from the Jefferson County Probation Office is Mr. Gary Gilliam. And Mr. Harper and Mr. Gilliam, what is the state's position?
Revocation.
It's revocation. Now, Mr. Fager, what is your announcement in this case? They're asking or seeking revocation.
Well, I understand that, Your Honor, and we had some discussions about him trying to get the money together with the assistance of one of his uncles to allow him to remain on probation, and I think and do that. So I'm not sure. I spoke to Mr. Alzine a couple sometime last month about that, and we were just waiting to see when it was set to see if his uncle and he could come up with the money, which is, I think, about $6,000. So what we would ask is, one more setting to see if he can actually come up with that money and go from there.
Okay, it's my understanding that the amount is about 4,500. Is that correct?
And it's for restitution, Judge.
Oh, that's for restitution.
Restitution and
Right.
that's
I think the total deal is around $6,000, Your Honor.
understood, but the problem is
The restitution.
the restitution is the most important. The other ones are fee. You're talking about 6,000, but 4,500 will get the restitution, which is the state's main concern. However, he expired in 2021. There's no way to extend it.
I understand.
So, I mean, we're spinning our wheels here. So we're going to ask for a hearing at the next sitting and have everybody here, nobody by Zoom.
Okay, let me do this here. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, how much time does he need to get to 4,500? Mr. Ozan?
Well, I started a job in July, first job in July.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna reset it 60 days. At that time, it'll be a contested hearing, so you'll have up until that time to get the 4,500, okay? Okay. Hold on a minute. Okay, Mr. Fager, we're gonna reset this case 60 days. We're gonna send your reset to you, and we're gonna give your client his reset here in court.
Thank you so very much, Your Honor. My apologies.
All right, your apologies is accepted. Now you're free to go.
Thank
And you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
All right. And Mr. Ozine, just have a seat in that first chair by the wall. And then when the court coordinator comes, well, you can go to, it's gonna be a 60-day reset.
Yes, sir.
And it's gonna be a hearing, contested hearing set on that day. Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in 3 cases. All 3 cases are styled the state of Texas versus Danella Marie Vital. And Ms. Vital, that's your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Vital, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Vital, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Vital, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Ms. Vital? You okay? That's good. Now, Ms. Vital, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, how are you doing? Mr. Cole, do you waive a record in Ms. Vital's cases?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Vital, I have before me 3 cases. First case is cause number M313722. Second case is cause number M313724. And the third case is cause number M313726. As I mentioned earlier, all 3 cases are, I don't have nothing on here.
No, I'm sending them.
Oh. Okay. Let's hold on a minute. Ms. Vital, I have before me a motion to revoke your probation in cause number M313722. This motion was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. And in this motion, it alleges that you, Danella Marie Vital, on February 6th of 2018, that you were found to be guilty for the offense of assault family violence, and your punishment was assessed at 90 days confinement in the Jefferson County Jail and a fine of $100. The confinement was probated for a period of 12 months. In this motion, there are 3 allegations. The state are abandoning allegations 2 and 3, and what that basically means is that they will only be proceeding on allegation number 1. And allegation number 1 states that you, Danella Marie Vital, failed to pay court-assessed fees as ordered by the court, and as of January 12th, 2021, you were $1,564 in arrears in violation of condition 8 of your probation order. Is that true or not true? True. All right. Now, are you pleading true to allegation 1 freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading true because it is true?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Okay. And it's important, we need to, the pleas are true, it can't be for fees. It can't be
Okay.
for fees. It needs to be like
Okay.
community service
Yeah.
hour. That's what we're talking about. So 1 is a fee,
I'll say the court is back on the record in cause number M313722. Case to style the state of Texas versus Danella Marie Vital. And Ms. Vital, I'm going to go over this motion again. In this motion that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, it alleges that you, Danella Marie Vital, was a defendant in this case. On February 6th of 2018, that you were found guilty for the Class A misdemeanor offense of family violence. Your punishment was assessed at 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail and a fine of $100. The confinement was probated for a period of 12 months. In this motion, there are 3 allegations. Now state, you are abandoning allegations 1 and 3, is that correct?
Correct.
Now, Ms. Vital, the state is abandoning allegation 1 and 3, and they will only be proceeding on allegation 2, not allegation 1. Allegation 2 alleges that you, Danella Marie Vital, failed to perform the community service hours required as ordered by the court in violation of condition 14 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Now, are you pleading true to allegation number 2 freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading true because it is true?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Vital, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, oh, you gotta have to change that. You got 1 and 4, so she's gonna be pleading true to 2. Yeah. Just erase, you could just turn them back and erase it. She already signed it, huh? You just have, she had already initialed it. Okay, now, Ms. Vital, on page 2 of State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, there's a set of initials DV that are on a line next to a box that says check MTRP, which means most of the revoked probation, true to allegation number 2. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
Also, now, Ms. Vital, before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Cole, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1 into evidence?
Yes, sir.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Cole, you've advised in counsel Ms. Vital, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
Ms. Vital, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Vital, I will accept your plea of true to allegation number 2. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that
In
agreement?
exchange for a plea of true in the allegations, Your Honor. Well, first of all, I'd like to state, you to notice of the pleas of true, find and true in the court's file. And in exchange for a plea of true, the state's agreed to recommend 10 days in the Jefferson County Jail.
Okay.
And
Ms.
I believe she's going to report on
The 23rd,
June 23rd,
if that's okay with you.
460.
Okay, say, June 23rd.
And that will all run concurrent for all three cases, and same deal in all three cases, all to run concurrent.
Yes, sir. That's the deal.
Okay, now, Ms. Vital, the state is offering that you serve 10 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for any time that you are entitled to get by law. Your court cost in this case is $67. Will you be able to pay the $67 court cost? Okay. Now, Ms. Vital. Now, these cases are going to be running concurrent, is that correct?
All of them do.
Okay, now, Ms. Vital, this case will be running concurrent with cause number 313724 and cause number 313726. Ms. Vital, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Vital, follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Vital, we will move on to your next case. And your next case is cause number M. hold on. Your next case is cause number M131724. And in this case, Mr. Vital, I have before me a motion to revoke your probation that was filed by the district attorney's office. And in this motion, it alleges that you, Daniela Marie Vital, on February 6th of 2018, that you, Daniela Marie Vital, on February 6th of 2018, that you were found guilty for the offense of assault family violence, and your punishment was assessed at 90 days confinement in the Jefferson County Jail and a fine of $100. Your confinement was probated for a period of 12 months. In this motion, it alleges that you violated that it alleges 3 allegations stating that you violated your probation. Now, state, are you abandoning allegations 1 and 3?
Yes, sir.
So the state is abandoning allegations 1 and 3, and they will only be proceeding on allegation 2. Allegation 2 alleges that you, Daniela Marie Vital, failed to perform the community service hours required as ordered by the court in violation of condition 14 of your probation order. Is that true or not true? Now, are you pleading true to allegation number 2 freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading true because it is true?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ms. Vital, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this document, there's a set of initials, DV, on the line next to a box that's checked MTRP, which means motion to revoke probation, true to allegation number 2. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this document, there's a set of, well, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On page, well, on the next document, that's titled trial court certification to defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the document on the line that is titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are two boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And just for the record, Ms. Vital, before you sign and initial these documents, your attorney went over these documents with you.
Yes, sir.
And everything in these documents, and you read the documents, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And everything in these documents, true or correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. And State's Exhibit number 1, there's no objections, so State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. And again, Mr. Cole, you've advised in counsel, Ms. Vital, is there any evidence that she's mentally incompetent to stand trial in
No, Your
this case? And Ms. Vital, or your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you, are you satisfied with the services in this case?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation? Ms. Vital, I'll accept your plea true to allegation number 2. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I've also found that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor. And first of all, it asks the court to take judicial notice of the pleas of true, find those true, and states agreed to recommend 10 days in Jefferson County Jail and court calls. And she is to report along with run concurrent with previous case on the 23rd before 6 p.m.
Okay. Ms. Vital, court is going to take judicial notice of the court's file. Actually, in both cases, the court will also take judicial notice of your finding or your plea of true to allegation number 2 in both cases. And in this case, the state is also recommending that you serve 10 days in Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for any time that you're entitled to get by law. The court cost in this case is $67. Would you be able to pay the court cost $67 in this case?
Is that $67 each case?
Yes.
I have paid all in one.
Yeah. I mean, it's 200, let me see. 80, 20, it's $201. Yeah, about 200 and I think it's $1. Yeah. You'll be able to pay that? You just nodded your head. I mean, you nodded your head, yes, but I mean,
Pay it today.
you pay it before when she start her sentencing on when is it?
23rd.
23rd. Okay, well, let me find out. I need to get some information from her. Now, Miss Vital, I need to get some financial information from you. In essence, that's what we call, it'll be the non-disclosure. It'll be disclosure of non-public information. And so, Mr. Cole, pursuant to Article 1.24 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, your right to public trial and all proceedings and trials should be public. However, the right to a public trial is not absolute. It may be outweighed by other competing interests, such as the non-disclosure of non-public or the disclosure of non-public information. And that's pursuant to the case of Lilly versus State 365 Southwest 3rd 321. Mr. Cole, are you requesting that this portion of the hearing be closed to the public?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The court finds that the party seeking the closure has advanced an overriding in non-public information. We find that the closure is no broader than necessary to protect those interests. The court has considered other reasonable alternatives, and the court it states that these findings are adequate for the closure. So at this time, this portion of the hearing will be